My daughter, Sarah, 18, is currently at college. A few months ago, she came to me and told me she was writing a book. She loves writing and she seemed very excited about the book, telling me constantly the word count and how many pages, the character development, etc. She told me not to tell my husband and her father, James, because he can be very controlling and she wanted it to be a surprise. She came home for a visit 3 weeks ago, telling me that she finally finished the book and that it was 250 pages, and she told both of us. She sent James the book. He gets up much earlier than she does, about 4 a.m., while she will wake up at noon when she doesn't need to be up early and in this time. When he read the first chapter, he rewrote it and told me that it would be an entirely new story. He told me that he didn't like the original first chapter, and that was why he rewrote the story when she woke up. He told her about his rewrite and how he had a new, amazing book. Sarah has a terrible temper and she got upset, telling him that she wanted him to read her story and she didn't want a new story. He got upset at her in turn, telling her that she wasn't even giving his story a chance. Of course, I was in the middle. Sarah was demanding I read her story, and James was demanding I read his first chapter. I read the chapter that James had rewrote and confessed that I wasn't a fan of it. Sarah was furious that he hadn't bothered to read the rest of the story, and like I said, she has a bad temper, so she told him that she hated the rewrite. He stormed off to his room and I didn't see him for the rest of the day. Sarah decided to leave to go back to college, as it was a Sunday. In the morning, he sent Sarah this email, which he also forwarded to me from now on. I would ask that you not show me any of your writing, or ask for any help editing anything. I am sure that by now, you and Ma have discussed our problem, and I no longer want to be involved in your writing in any way. Please see Ma for your future editing needs. By the way, the story you wrote is a ripoff of TV show and is trite and poorly written. It would need a major rewrite if you wanted to do anything with it. And as I said, I will not be the one to rewrite it. Sarah and James are currently not speaking. James and I argue a lot, so our relationship is basically fine. He just does not mention Sarah. He feels as though he is the wronged party here because we, and I quote, did not give his story a chance. I tried to read the book, but I must confess that I found the first chapter a little hard to get through too. So I stopped reading and I told Sarah this. I told Sarah that I wasn't a fan of fiction and that it was hard for me to read books. She called me crying and told me that she worked for months on this book and was so excited about it and that she wanted her parents to support her on it. She told me that I treated her like I'd treat a stranger on the street and I didn't even try to read past the first chapter. I told her I'd try to read it again and she said, don't bother, that the project is ruined and that she won't be working on a second draft. I feel like the bad guy here and I don't know how to proceed. Should I try to read the book or give it up like she said? Should I be speaking to my husband or should I just let it go?